All right, I want you to think about this. Now, and this is directly contributed to the government shutdown. We go to work. Everybody goes to, most everybody in the U.S. go to work for somebody, and they get paid money. You get paid money. Use that money to trade for goods. That's really what you're doing, trade. We call it buying, but you're trading. You're trading your money for the goods at any business or any store. That's what you're doing. Right? Now, before, a long time ago, before the advent of money or how money was traded as much as it is today, you had people trading for goods or services, and then you would get something. You get paid through goods and services, and you traded, and then that's how you lived your life. Well, now you have nothing to trade but money. Nobody trades anything anymore not involving money. You don't have somebody come over and cut the tree down in your front yard and you're paying by some food, or you make some shoes for them and give them some shoes. That doesn't happen anymore for the most part, right? So you trading through money. Now, when this government shutdown happened, the government stopped trading your services for money. They said, we can't give you the trading ability of money. You having the trading ability of money. We can't give you money. There's a government shutdown, so we can't pay you. We can't pay you. And the only way we pay you is through money. So, if that's the only thing that you've been able to buy goods with or get things with is through money, then you out of luck. Now, if it were that you had the ability to trade to get your goods, government shutdown wouldn't even affect you. It would. But do you see how us being dependent on one form of trade can almost ruin a family, because you have no other way of trading any type of goods or services in order for you to get goods or services. It's all in money. If you don't have the ability to get paid through money, all other abilities to take care of yourself is done. Now, these people who are living off the land, they ain't got to worry about no government shutdown. They don't have to worry about money. As long as they living off the land, they can find water, they can find food, they can have fabrics that they can weave and for clothes. They have shelter. They can provide shelter for themselves. They don't have to have money. People in the Amazon, people in Africa, there are certain people in Asia. They don't have to have money. Not the way we look at it. They can trade by other services. So I just want you to think about that. We've come as a society to be dependent on money. As soon as that establishment is over, or been compromised, man, your ability to even take care of yourself ends the way that you know it. Now, are you going to starve to death? No, because you either steal or rely on charity from someone, or you have to go out there and get your own food from nature, whether it's trapping animals, hunting them down, or growing a vegetable garden or whatever kind of garden you eat, where you can eat food, right? So what's going to happen if this is, it's not like this hasn't happened before, because it has. Banks, people were pulling out their money out of banks, and banks were folding. It's like, the Great Depression, and this has happened before. And the bad part about it is, a lot of times, because of that Great Depression, it has some other factors in as well, because people weren't able to grow their food because of Dust Bowl days and all that stuff. There was a lot of things going into that. Well, here we don't have Dust Bowl days, but it lets you know that when you're dependent on a particular establishment for your well-being, these things can happen. Crazy thing about it is, it's happening to the establishment that we trust the most, which is the U.S. government, or the government. You trust the government to provide places for you to be safe. You trust the government for your streets to be safe, to be paved, your waterworks, transportation. I mean, you really trust the government for a lot of things. A lot of things that the government is in that you don't even know is controlling, like transportation of goods across state lines and things of that nature to get to the stores where you can buy. A lot of these things, if one thing shuts down, then you are just like out of luck, man. I mean, look at FEMA. A lot of these things happen with hurricanes coming in, and then what happened? You relying on government, FEMA, and if FEMA didn't come through, you didn't have nothing. You are dependent on the government for a lot of things. And for us to see how you treat your own personal workers, government workers, you just ain't gonna pay them. What kind of confidence we gonna have in you? If the government, people who working directly for the government cannot depend on the government, how are we supposed to depend on the government, man? They let you know. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. The only thing I can do is try to get the skills to try to take care of myself and my family. Whether it be growing vegetables, starting a garden, collecting rainwater on the low. Because what happens if they find out you collect the rainwater? They're going to tax you. You're going to have a fee. You can't just put solar power on your solar panels on your house and divert the electricity from the main electricity electrical company that's giving most people electricity. Because what happens is they're going to charge you a fee because you're supposed to be using. I don't know if anybody knew that, but you can't collect rainwater legally, and you can't collect the sunlight that God made legally without paying a fine or a fee for it. They make you use, basically, they're going to get paid one way or another. They just have us in a trap, man. You in a trap. It's just so crazy, man. Anyway, we're going to have a part 2. But it's only going to be 10 minutes long or so. But they have you trapped, man. And you got to figure out a way how you're going to get out of it. Because right now, you dependent on the government. The government who makes the money? Grandpa Williams ain't down the street making money. The government making money. They got you in the trap, man.